So now, first of all, Mr. Hiroshi Nakaso, FinCity.Tokyo chairperson, will give you an opening remarks. Mr. Nakaso, if you please.
Distinguished participants, colleagues in the APEC Business Advisory Council and FinCity.Tokyo, the APFF Sustainable Finance Development Network, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased on behalf of ABAC Japan and FinCity.Tokyo to welcome you to this seminar. Now, as most of you know, APEC member economies together account for about half of the global carbon dioxide emissions. About 3/4 of these are generated by developing members, while developed members have higher emission per capita. Please, next slide. These facts underlie the importance of harnessing all means at our disposal to accelerate decarbonization. I say this is absolutely necessary, regardless of what may come out of the other side of the Pacific, because we cannot any longer tolerate violent weather costing lives and economic losses year after year. I think carbon markets can help us achieve this objective. However, there are many challenges that need to be addressed. To identify these challenges and develop a response, we convened 3 roundtables last year. And this discussion provided us with the basis for establishing a regional Pathfinder initiative. And that is the topic of today's seminar. To start the discussions, allow me to summarize key findings of our roundtables. Please go to the next slide. The significant growth potential of voluntary carbon markets, or VCMs, stems from the huge expected residual and remaining emissions that need to be offset to achieve companies' net zero targets, which will create a very large demand for carbon offset that can be met through VCMs, voluntary carbon market. The expected size of residual emission is indicated in green bars in the chart on the left-hand side. Now, there was a rapid growth of the market at the beginning, as you can see on the chart on the right-hand side. But the growth soon encountered serious headwinds as lenders and investors started having doubts about serious problems, or in other words, quality of carbon credits, especially after various negative reports appeared in the media. And in addition to environmental integrity, meaning whether underlying projects really contribute to reducing emissions, other factors affect the ability of the market to reach scale are financial integrity, meaning the confidence of market participants that transaction will be completed as agreed, and the issues related to interoperability. Please go to the next slide. Now the present landscape of voluntary carbon market is quite messy, as indicated by this page. And I think it is the complication is characterized by 3 major features. The first is fragmentation. Fragmentation means diversity of standards, practices, institutional arrangements and legal frameworks, multiple certification standard bodies and registries, and hundreds of methodologies. These hinder interoperability among markets. The second feature is that most trading of voluntary carbon credits currently occur bilaterally or through intermediaries in rather opaque over-the-counter markets. The third feature is the emergence of a few trading platforms, with the most active ones being in the USA, Singapore, and Hong Kong. I think this trend is encouraging because regulated or self-regulated exchange like Singapore's HCX and Climate Impact Exchange and the Hong Kong's exchange Core Climate can provide the infrastructure to promote efficiency, price discovery, transparency, and standardization. And I think these arrangements can attract broader participation of wide variety of sellers, buyers, intermediaries that can promote liquid and healthy markets. With its huge financial resources, I believe Japan has the potential to play a greater role in the region's decarbonization efforts if it can really develop a robust and effective voluntary carbon market infrastructure that can interoperate with other markets in the Asia-Pacific region. Please go to the next slide. Finally, let me say a few words on our proposed Pathfinder initiative. Now, ABAC members from 9 economies so far have joined the initiative. They are Australia, Brunei, Canada, Indonesia, Hong Kong, China, Japan, New Zealand, Singapore, and Thailand. Now, through this initiative, we hope to engage the relevant public and private stakeholders in each of our economies and coordination efforts internationally, in collaboration with key international organizations that are playing important roles in shaping the international market infrastructure for voluntary carbon market. Now, following some of the key elements under consideration for our work program under this Pathfinder initiative. As outlined in the blue color, they are working 3 areas, and that they can address the issues of integrity and interoperability. The first of the 3 areas is the work to align standards and practices on supply and demand side for carbon credits, financial market integrity, and legal interoperability. The second area you see in the middle column has to do with assisting emerging economies in developing enabling policy and regulatory ecosystem. And the third area is connecting and aggregating registry information to eliminate the risk of double counting. Now, during the roundtable, there were a lot of discussions, and several institutions and initiatives have expressed interest in collaborating in this work, including the Integrity Council for VCMs, the VCM Integrity Initiative, ISDA, UNIDROIT, and the World Bank, among others. To reduce duplication of the efforts, this work also needs to be coordinated with ongoing work in the ASEAN Alliance on Carbon Markets and industry associations like the Asia Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association and the Institute of International Finance, or the IIF. In the meantime, as described in the column in light yellow color, we are exploring the possibility of launching pilot projects And these pilot projects include a network of linked exchanges, a pilot financial contract representing a portfolio of projects owned in an intermediary balance sheet, and tokenized voluntary carbon credits, taking the most advanced technologies. Now, as I mentioned earlier, these are ideas that we are now discussing for the Pathfinder initiative, which will be presented to ABAC at the council's next meeting next month in Brisbane, Australia, and then at the APEC Finance and Central Bank Deputies meeting soon after in Gyeongju, Korea. In today's seminar, we will hear various perspectives from participants of our initiative and international organizations on the way forward for this project. We also would like to introduce our initiative to key stakeholders in Japan and discuss how the Asia-Pacific region and Japan can benefit from and contribute more actively to this development. Before I conclude, let me thank my colleagues in FinCity.Tokyo and Daiwa Institute of Research for arranging the hosting of this event. Let me also thank ABAC and APFF, FSD, and collaborators for helping us put together this agenda. I would like to express my deep appreciation to our eminent speakers and moderators for being here to share with us their valuable time and insights. And finally, let me thank all of you for joining us today, either here in person or virtually. I wish us all a very interesting, successful, and productive discussion. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Nakaso.